in my experience and my view, if we start from the notion that who we are, what our true nature is as human beings, as that we are essence, that we are spirit, that our true nature can be described with those words. Of course, the actual consciousness and experience of it is ineffable, it's wordless. It's something that we come to and we develop and we cultivate this consciousness of our beingness. And our beingness actually by itself, I'm not going to go too much into some of the fine nuances. I'm going to say to be beyond qualities, beyond form, beyond any kind of qualification. And yet when our being enters into life itself, relational life, and what manifests, the very first manifestation are what I call the qualities of our being. So these are qualities of our nature. And there are many different qualities. I've just identified a few, I think, that stand out. So it can be said that some of the qualities are love, freedom, creativity, innocence. There are many different qualities that are held within the nature of our being. So it can be said that who we are as beings, we're naturally loving. Our very nature is free and unbounded. The impulse to be in life is a creative impulse. It's one in which we want to engage and participate fully in a way in which we bring our fullness of creativity. And of course, because we live in a relational world, it becomes co-creativity and collaboration and connection with other people. So it's kind of this diagram is a sort of what I would call an unfolding as our being reveals itself in life. So these are qualities of our being. And so the question is, then how do we access these qualities of our being? I don't believe we can access them intellectually. Even though the intellect has some use, it's no good when we're trying to access something as full, as present as the very beingness that we are. So one of the primary ways we access it is through the heart, through what we deeply long for, what we deeply feel. Now, different words can be used, deep desires of the heart, but these are something that can be felt to be the deepest impulses that we have through the heart. So when we feel a deep longing, this is actually an expression of the beingness in life, of who we really are. So one of the other longings, one of the other qualities is to engage in a way that is free and playful. So you say playfulness can be a quality. Anything that's restricted or constricted is a distorted expression of these qualities. So the longings of our heart is how we access the qualities, the essence of our being. The longings of our heart can also still not be as accessible. So as we unfold the longings of our heart, then what we can identify are all the specificity of the needs and what we're valuing. So all of the needs are a more specific expression of the longings of our heart, the qualities of our being, and essence or spirit itself. So those are a little bit much more accessible and much more available to us in practical life. So, for example, freedom, the quality of freedom. That we long for freedom, which can mean that we long to be able to have our autonomy acknowledged by ourselves and other people so that we freely choose. When we are freely choosing, that is an expression of, and our being steps forward, and we're able to be more present. And we feel it, experience it fully in our body. So these are embodied qualities. Whenever we say that we have an experience of something that we value being fulfilled or a need being met, when we are actually able to feel deeply into the experience without the distortions of our evaluative mind or thinking, I believe that what we're actually feeling is the very nature of our being and our spirit comes alive and becomes more present. So that when we're truly seen, for example, we are truly seen and understood and acknowledged and accepted for whatever it is that we're experiencing at any given moment, that experience is an experience of a resonance and a reverberation of our true beings. So in a way, I believe that our longings are something that we deeply hunger for. One of the phrases that I've used is that needs are the doorway to spirit. So the very need consciousness can be seen in a perspective that is relatively limited to perhaps psychological and interpersonal dynamics. And of course, they're important at that level. But they're also important because we can go deeper into what is the depth of the energy that my need is leading to or pointing to. This is a very brief model and overview I wanted to introduce. First, it's a way of sharing with you sort of the context of how I'm holding needs consciousness and the relationship to needs and our beings.